So this is my first Facebook Live as part of the Unhindered series. Unhindered is the title of the book that I'm launching on the 7th of July. It represents my life's work. Something very meaningful to me that I've been working on for some time. And my obsession has been to think about insecurity at a global level, and not just to think about it, but to work on the process of solving the insecurity problem. First at a local level and the localist level that exists, i.e. my own life, but then out of the overflow of that and from the discoveries I've made personally to create tools, frameworks, ideas that reach to the ends of the earth so that as a people, as a race, we can evolve our collective consciousness and grow on and overcome something that hinders us all greatly. So insecurity is a really important subject to solve. If you don't find a way to solve it, it creates untold chaos and ultimately madness. So the Donald Trump effect. This is it's not just clickbait to use his name to get your attention. I've been fascinated by the Donald from the start, and fascinated by the response to Donald. And I've got lots of friends who love Donald, lots of friends who hate Donald. It would be unfair not to share at least that I can't be objective about Donald Trump. That would be impossible. So my personal preference is, I'm not a fan. Like I don't think he's a great leader. But the more that I think about Donald, the less upset at him I become. Now, I think it is impossible to be critical of Donald Trump because he is true to himself. He's a crazy guy. Like I think if you don't think that Donald Trump is crazy, I'm not quite sure what planet you're on. He's a crazy guy, but there's no mistake about his craziness. He's not pretending not to be crazy. He's been crazy from day one. He's exactly the same level of crazy as he's always been. There's no surprise to his craziness. There's no surprise to his narcissism. There's no surprise to his views on women, his views on religion, his views on race. There's no surprise. Like, why is anyone upset? It's impossible to be upset at this guy because he is as crazy as he seems. So that is a wonderful realization, because to me, Donald Trump is a beautiful gift to mankind. And this is the gift of Donald. He is a reflection of what happens when you don't deal with your stuff. So I think, why do people love Donald Trump? In my humble opinion, it's because he gives them a place to hide. So Donald is the guy who's going to allow you never to deal with your own fears, never to face your insecurities, to hide behind bigotry, to hide behind selfishness, to hide behind greed, to hide behind nationalism, and never interact with anything outside of that. Donald's going to give you permission to be that person, which is why people love Donald. But the gift that Donald gives people is to say, cool, and if you do that, if you remain in your dysfunction, this is what it looks like. I'll show you loud and clear what it looks like to be the guy who hides behind narcissism, bigotry, selfishness, greed. I'll demonstrate. I'll show you the madness that is revealed when you don't deal with your stuff. I'll show you loud and clear. That'll be my gift to you. That'll be my contribution to you. So, I think the Insecurity Project is all about helping people realize the impact of unresolved insecurity, and to go, cool, this is an important issue. Sure, it's a difficult one, a vulnerable one, but if you don't find a way to think about this intelligently, it will ruin your life. Not only will it ruin your life, it'll affect your marriage, your finances, your health, and it will help you. It will cause you to hurt those around you as well. That's all that can happen. So this is important. This is super, super important. Of all the problems what we've solved as a race, we haven't solved this one. So we've made technological advances that have sped up everything, but we haven't evolved our consciousness and our ability to not show up insecure. So we're still the ones running technology, and we're the ones who have the power to create a lot of havoc with that technology because of our insecurity. So the Donald Trump effect, to me, the beautiful gift is for him to say, Okay, I will heighten your awareness around madness of your reluctance to do personal development. I'm not an evolved character. I'm not a developed character. I'm not a kind character. I am not an empathetic character. I am an ego-driven character. That is who I am. That's who I've always been. And you want me? Okay, have me. And you watch what happens when you get me, because it's actually not pretty, and it's actually not beautiful, and it doesn't produce good. It creates chaos. So be careful what you wish for. You want to hide. You're afraid of dealing with your stuff. You don't want to do that, so you want to avoid that. Okay, you can have that. But here's what it looks like. So the Donald Trump effect is the large scale impact of unresolved insecurity. And it is a gift to the world. And it is such a beautiful gift. And I'm grateful that Donald gives it. And there is no way anyone could be critical of him, because he's not pretending to be anything that he's not. He shows up as the guy who you think he is. And every time he does not fail to disappoint. He opens his mouth and he does not disappoint. He's not speaking common sense. He speaks ego and chaos. So this is why insecurity is so important, and the intention of the Insecurity Project is to help people think about the implications of doing this work. So this book, due out in a month or so, is aimed at giving you the resources to do that work in your life. So I don't really know how to interact on Facebook Live. So there are people on. G'day, Yvonne, Chantel, Alan, Rebecca, Tracy, and others who are there. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, I'd love to know whether you've been offended by what I've said, whether you love Donald, whether you hate him. Well, maybe I don't really know or care about those things, but interested whether you think that Donald Trump does provide a gift in that he highlights the chaos and dysfunction when personal development work is not done. And so next week I'm going to broach another a difficult subject. I talked at the start of the year about the impact of insecurity on sexuality, and that is an issue, and I hope to have some guests on my podcast speaking into that issue. I haven't done that yet, but want to broach that subject next week, because it's an area there's a lot of suffering in as well, for lack of conversation, for lack of intelligent conversation. And I think insecurity and sexuality are massively linked and create a lot of suffering when people don't know how to navigate that. So thanks for joining in. Love your feedback. And thanks for being part of the Insecurity Project. We'll leave it there.